October 13th is a big and important day for the low income. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, yet again, we have another very important day on the calendar for the low income and fixed income beneficiaries. October 13th is the key date that we need to watch, and we also need to pay attention to any kind of announcements before this key date. So in this video, I want to talk you through all the details and let you know why October 13th is going to be a very big and impactful day for millions and millions of low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries. So let's get into it and discuss all the details, as we have a lot to cover right here in this video. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video. I am your one and only daily advocate. I'm doing all the research each and every day, breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what is actually going on right now during this very busy time, and as things are changing very, very rapidly, especially when it comes down to new announcements out of the president and the administration, as well as new announcements, bills, packages, and proposals out of Congress, as well as anything else popping up right now in regards to money, benefits, programs, checks, stimulus, or anything else that we can possibly take advantage of. So there's a lot going on, and things are changing very, very rapidly, especially with the midterm elections coming up in just a matter of weeks. So it's a very busy time that we're going through right now. So again, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and of course, stay tuned, as there's going to be a lot of important details coming forward here over the next few weeks and realistically through the rest of the year. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and I'll continue to be here for you right by your side every single day, as that's my commitment, and of course, I'm sticking to it. All right, thanks again. Let's get into it and discuss all the details on October 13th. All right, so as it comes down to it, Thursday, October 13th is a very important day. Here's what it comes down to. This is going to be the official day in which the Public Health Emergency Declaration actually expires, the end of the day. Now, what does this mean, and why do we actually care? So here's what it comes down to. The Public Health Emergency Declaration was actually put in place way back in January of 2020. Yes, 2020. So almost 3 years ago now was the last time, or was when, this Public Health Emergency Declaration was put in place. It's been extended multiple times over the last couple years here. Well, the last extension took place in mid-July, where they extended it out another 90 days, which brings us out until October 13th, the end of the day. Now, why do we care about this? Well, we actually care about this quite a bit because with the Public Health Emergency Declaration in place, it's actually very impactful for the low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries. Now, basically what this does, there's a few different reasons why this is impactful. Number one, for those of you that are located in that handful of states out there right now that are still sending out the extra allotment for SNAP benefits, as in Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, otherwise known as food stamps, if you're in one of those states, they can still send this out as a result of the Public Health Emergency Declaration being in place. As soon as the Public Health Emergency Declaration is either expired and or canceled, guess what happens? That extra allotment is no longer able to be sent out. They cannot send it out. But as this is in place right now, they still have the privileges to send this out. So that's reason number one. Next, for those of you that are on Medicaid, not Medicare, Medicaid. These are two very different programs. Even though they're somewhat similar, they're still very different. Medicare and Medicaid are not the same thing. So we're talking about Medicaid here. So for those of you that are on Medicaid, over the last couple of years here, about 15 extra million people have added onto this program. Actually, let me take that back. I don't think it's actually 15 million. I think it's significantly more than that. But over the last couple of years here, basically they have not been going through and verifying who is actually eligible for Medicaid services. As a result of the Public Health Emergency Declaration, once it is actually allowed to expire or it is canceled, now we've got about 15 million recipients and beneficiaries of Medicaid who now are going to be at risk of losing Medicaid benefits. That's why this is a huge problem. 15 million people, which, by the way, as of right now, there's about 80 million people that are on Medicaid. That's a huge, huge percentage of our population. That's like 22% or something of our population in this country. That's a lot of people, right, that are on Medicaid. So roughly 15 million of them could be losing coverages almost immediately when the public health emergency declaration is expired. So that's why this is so important. These are just a few of the reasons. I could go on and on. There's about 7 more different reasons why the public health emergency declaration is actually very important to stay in place. However, we also need to recognize at the same time it will likely be expiring and or canceled at some point in the future. However, right now or when? Well, realistically, with everything going on right now with rising COVID cases and everything that's happening right now, it's likely going to be extended once again. However, we also do know this much as well. They've also mentioned to us that they will likely be giving us a 60-day notice prior to the actual cancellation and or expiration of this. Well, we didn't get a cancellation or an expiration notice quite yet. Therefore, with that being said, considering they never told us, I would anticipate it's going to be extended out once again. How long? Well, it could be 90 days, it could be 60 days. 90 days would take us into next year, would take us into about January of next year. 60 days would take us into about mid-December. So we'll have to see where this actually goes here, but I would anticipate there's going to be another extension on this, considering COVID cases where they currently are, which is what they continue to use for their reasoning behind all the extensions that they've had here over the last couple of years. It's been extended out multiple times. So with this public health emergency declaration still in place, it does allow for a lot of extra privileges. With these extra privileges that are in place here, it just makes it easier to get benefits out to the low income and the fixed income, seniors, older adults, and people with disabilities. Even though it seems like as of recently, they haven't really been putting a whole lot of effort into getting extra benefits or relief out to those people who actually need it right now, right? So even though that the places are, the things are in place for them to get out there and get this out to the people, it just seems like they haven't really been exercising that all that much as of recently. But anyway, this is something that is coming the end of the day on October 13th. Again, the end of the day. So technically, as of the 14th, the morning of the 14th, this would no longer be in place if they actually do allow it to expire. But again, we'll have to see what happens here. But historically, they usually wait until the very last minute to announce any type of extension. So maybe on the 13th, they'll extend it out. Maybe on the 12th, they'll extend it out, something like this. But typically, they wait until the very last day and then come out and say, oh, hey, yeah, just kidding. We're actually going to extend it out another 60 days, another 90 days, something like that. So I would anticipate that's going to happen once again this time. But we'll have to see here what actually happens. Do they extend it out? Do they allow it to expire? Do they cancel it? What happens here? Either way, I'll continue watching that closely. And again, this is an important day that we need to watch because even though right now it seems like, oh, it doesn't really impact me, I don't really care, it doesn't really matter, the fact of the matter is, once it's expired, then we're going to start to see, oh, wait, I guess it did impact me. Oh, wait, I guess it was a pretty important thing that they had in place. So, again, I'll keep an eye on it, and as I do get more details, I'll be here for you, breaking it down, letting you know what's going on, and how it's going to impact all of us. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below, and of course, I'll continue doing all the research on everything else as well. Not just this one, the Public Health Emergency Declaration, but also everything at the same time, as a lot of things are changing very rapidly right now, and as we continue to get all these new announcements. So again, hope this video helps you out. Again, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. Until next time, have a good one. Stay safe out there. Thanks so much for your continued support, and please remember, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. All right, thanks again. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.